I suppose, a tough start for you, Peamount. I know it's hard to say, did you get any positives from it? But I suppose it's a game, did you learn anything from it? Did you learn more about your own players and about the opposition?
Yeah, I think for me, like, I learned a lot about the girls. I learned a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
You know, and as I had a conversation with the girls there a little while ago myself, and I said to them, look, you know, like, you know, for me, I demanded certain aspects of the game of you on Saturday, but then when I've looked back at certain things, that we've not prepared you right as a staff to be able to do that in the game. And like, for me, you know, we've got no base level of fitness, so I'm asking girls to run around and work hard, but the work hasn't been done before I got here. So we have no data or nothing on where the girls are at in terms of fitness. So we're starting from scratch. You know, so I'm asking girls to run around and work hard and be more aggressive and, you know, make tackles and, you know, be sharper and fitter.
Yeah.
But we've not put the time and effort in as a staff to get them to that level to do that. So I'm putting demands on them, but then I sit down and look through stuff, and we've not done it as a staff to get them to that level. So I can't put them demands on the girls until I get them to that level. And, you know, as I said to them a minute ago, like, you know, we're doing testing tonight. We're doing some more tests as the season goes on, but we need to understand where they're at. Like, I have no idea where they're at the moment in terms of fitness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally it's like starting from pre-season, you know, and these things should have been done in pre-season.
Yeah.
So I should have an idea of where they're at. You can play pretty football and pass the ball around all you want. If you can't run around and physically play in the game, then you've got no chance. So for me, like, that's a problem for me, because, and as I said to the girls, I'll be always open and honest. I'm not going to get things right all the time. I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, listen, I made a mistake. I said, but there's things that we're going to start to implement now that they've got to take some ownership of. And they've got to look after themselves. They've got to do other things off the pitch to get themselves to where we need to get to. And if we do that as a group and they do it as individuals, we won't have any problems moving forward.
Perfect. Like, it's always going to be difficult when you're coming in kind of mid-season, or I think you're third way through, is it, or whatever. It's always going to be difficult for you anyway. Do you still feel there's plenty of time to turn things around this season, or are you going to use the rest of the season just to get you to know your players a bit better, to get to know the league, the oppositions?
Yeah, I think that both.
Yeah,
I think both. I mean, like, I want to win games, and the girls want to win. Like, ultimately, they wouldn't be playing the game if they didn't want to win games, and they want to win. But I feel that it's going to be baby steps. We've got to do certain things to get ourselves to that level of where we can compete against the likes of Peamount and the likes of Shells. But we'll get there if they're willing to put the time and effort in, and they trust me and they start to listen and want to do the things that I want to do. Like, as a group, we'll get there, and it won't take long if we do it the right way. And for me, like, they will start winning games, because we'll implement things to help them get to that level. And if I can help them do that, and they take it on board and they want to learn, then we'll start moving up the league. And it won't happen overnight. It'll take 3 to 4 weeks to get the things that we want to get implemented in place. But they're good enough technically, and they're very good footballers. But as I said to them, my one thing is can you do the other side of the game, the ugly side that people don't normally want to do, which is, can you outwork the person you're playing against? Can you win your individual battles? And can you run for 90 minutes?
Yeah. I know you said that just about kind of work rate and stuff, and about kind of, I know you stated during the week that maybe there's some players on the team that are there and just happy enough to be saying that they're playing with the likes of Cork City and maybe not there willing to progress and stuff like that. That's probably been kind of evident enough over the years, but I think you're probably the first manager that has come out and actually said it. Is like, how do you plan on rectifying that? Do you plan on working with the girls and trying to get the best out of them, or changing players?
I had a really good conversation with Rob Heffernan yesterday, and it's a mindset. And he said, like, you've got to have a winning mentality. You've got to have a winning mindset. You've got to want to, you know, be the best in your position. Because, like, even for me, like, as a player, if my manager asked me to go and play where my best mate played, I wouldn't tell him I'm not playing because he's my mate. I wanted to play.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we need to get that competitive edge in the team, and we need to, you know, someone might be your best friend, but if the manager asks your best friend to play in your position, you're not going to say no, they're going to play. And I think that we need to build that in training. The competitive edge in training's got to come out. And then once we get that, like, I know that it's there, because they are good footballers.
Yeah, brilliant.
But I've got to just work a little bit at that.
Cool, Claire?
Yeah, Johnny, how good is it to be back among the environment, like among the club again? You left 8 years ago as a player.
Yeah.
It's good to be back around.
Yeah, it's
the place
brilliant.
again.
No, it's really good. It's nice, like being back, like seeing the likes of Liam and Dan Murray, Alan Bennett, and met Joe Gamble at the weekend, and seeing they're my mates. Like, even though we played football together and we didn't always get on, but like we've always been friends. Me and Joe never really got on when we played. Like, we'd clash all the time because he always wanted the ball and I never wanted to give it to him. And it's the likes of Georgie and stuff and that as well. But we're all quite close because we all knew what each person brought to the table. And even if someone didn't play well, we worked hard for each other, and that's why we become friends. And that's what I'm trying to say to the girls: like, you don't need to be best mates on the pitch. When you come off it, you're still going to be friends. You might hurt someone's feelings for 20, 30 minutes, but they'll get over it. And that's where we need to be a little bit more demanding off each other. Like, because I'm going to be demanding off them, so now they've got to demand more of each other.
Yeah, the game, as you know, like as a coach, like is evolving all the time. Like, do you see, since you played, like a lot of changes in the game, and
Yeah, I think that the game's very different now, very different to what the things we could have done when we played. We could have got away with in terms of with referees and things that you can't. There's a massive emphasis on everyone wants to play football. For me, like every team wants to play out from the back, and everyone wants to I want to win. And we can look good winning, then I'm happy. But if we have to do the ugly side of the game and we have to earn the right to play, and we have to go a bit longer at times to make the other team drop off so we can then start to play, then they've got to understand that within the game, and they've got to notice that and be like, do you know what, maybe we'll make them drop a little bit and then we'll start being able to play. But we've got to look, the ugly side of the game's kind of gone out of it, and everyone's way too nice. When we were playing, we hated all the Dublin teams, but they all seem to be mates. So I think that's
much respect now. I think nowadays, don't they give the Dublin teams a little bit too much respect?
Yeah.
The girls do anyway.
Yeah, and I think that everyone's friends, obviously through international setup and stuff like that, and they're friends and they're all pally. But I'm like, we're Cork City. Like, you're not coming down here and beating us. We need to get that back in. We need to get that in the club where it's a case of we're Cork City. We want to win. We should be at the top end of the table. But as I said, it's a mindset, and speaking to people like Rob, and he's hopefully going to come in and have a chat with the girls and speak to them about it, like, helping them understand that. And that's a part of my job as a manager, is that I've got to help them understand, I've got to help them change that mentality, and I've got to try and build that competitive edge within the team. And we'll get there because we'll put in the time and effort. So I know we can get there, and I want to play good football. I'd rather win.
Yeah, obviously Cork is, Cork City and County is a big area. Like, there's a big reach of girls, I'd say. Like, are you going to cast the nets out, like, and get people to look at the players around and try to obviously straighten the squad? Yeah,
I mean, look, in terms of like what we have in terms of a scouting system, we kind of probably don't really have anything in place at the moment. There's small things that we need to gradually start to build in. I mean, it's a massive catchment area. My problem is we've got a lot of girls, Cork girls, that are not playing at Cork, and they're playing for other clubs, and it's trying to find out the reasons for why. Why can't we attract our best players in Cork to stay at Cork? And we need to keep the best players in, not allow them to go and play at Shells and go and play at DLR and the other and Athlone and teams like that. Like, if girls are coming back from America, they should be bringing me up, wanting to be here, but they don't. They're going to other clubs. So I've got to change that. I've got to change that to make girls want to stay here. I've got to try and keep the likes of like a Saoirse Noonan. Obviously, it's very difficult to keep because of the level of ability she's got. But can we make it more attractive for her to be here? And that's, for me, that's something I need to change.
Women's football, I suppose, is at an all-time high, isn't it? When you look at attendances for games, 100,000 at one of the Barcelona games, the cup final in England was 50,000 like that. And the Irish team are doing well at the moment as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, women's football's on the up and up, and I think that we're at a good stage where we can, as a club, that the effort that's going to start to be put in, and the way we're looking at doing things, that we could, if we do it the right way and we keep progressing, we could be one of the bigger clubs. Because if we're successful, we'll get crowds, and you can start to then be more attractive to players that want to come here. But there's a lot of stuff that we need to do better as individuals, as a coaching staff, and as a team, and as a club, to make it more attractive for people to be here. But we'll do it because I'll pester people until it's done. And I'm very driven in out where I want to be. I want to be the best team in Ireland. And people might say it's arrogance and whatever it is, but for me, like, I wouldn't have taken a job if I was just happy to sit here.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in being down the bottom end of the table. I want to be as close to the top as possible.
Yeah, that was interesting what you said there. Like driven, you were driven as a player. You know that you're very passionate. What do you think you bring to the table as a coach, Danny? What are your, do you think your strengths are?
I think I'm very good with people, and like I get people very quickly. I can get the best out of people. I'm very understanding, and like for me, I think if people work hard, I don't care if you play well. If you work hard, then we'll be successful and we'll get on. And you're not going to play well every week. You're going to have more bad games than you're ever going to have good games. But if you play badly but still give something to the team, then we're all winning. And I think like that was for me as in my career is what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't a George O'Callaghan. I knew I wasn't a Kevin Doyle or Joe Gamble or Liam Carney. I knew I wasn't as good as them. But I just made sure that I worked hard. And if I played against someone, I just made sure that their night was a living hell. And I think if I can implement that in the girls a little bit more, the quality of what they have on the ball will take care of itself.
Yeah, just the last one for me, Danny. You said it there early on about third of the season gone. Like, what would be a good season for you from here? Like, are you just looking at winning as many games you can and building towards next season?
I think I'm not looking too far ahead. We play Treaty on Saturday, and we have to try and win the game. And it's not going to be easy because I look back at Treaty's game the other day, and they were very physical. Now, if we don't approach the game right and we're not physical, then we're going to be in for a very hard afternoon. But for me, like, it's not about where we want to be. It's like small steps. If I improve training today, and I improve it tomorrow, and I improve it Friday, and then we do better in the game on Saturday, then I'll try and improve Tuesday, and I'll try and improve it Wednesday. So for me, I'm taking it. If I can improve each session, and then I can then implement other things within the game, like we'll improve very quickly. But a couple of people have said that to me, like, you aiming it for next season. No, I want to win now. But there's small steps, and I have to start changing things in training to get them to where I need to be. And it is from a fan and from a club perspective, people want to see results. But for me, it comes on the training pitch, and if we implement the right things there, then we'll get the results, and then we'll be a better team. But I've got to change the way we train, the way we do things. I've got to get that winning mentality back in the team. And it's hard because they've not had the best of seasons. And confidence is probably so low that, as I'm trying to say to the girls, don't worry about what's happened. Like, we're moving forward. Like, all that has happened in the past, we've just got to take small steps to move forward.
Good luck, Dan.
Thank you.
Just probably one more there, Danny. I know you touched on during the week just about the squad being a young squad. I think probably overall in the league it's probably getting younger as the last 2 or 3 years. If you look at Galway, who drew with Chelsea this week, the leaders, their average age is 20. Treaty, your opposition Saturday, average age 18. Yourselves then with Wexford 21 or whatever. So it is kind of young enough. But in saying that, like, if you're still looking for that kind of mature, older player, so what's your plan? Is it like to build the youth coming through, or do you plan on getting more experienced older girls in, and where from?
I think for me, it's trying to get more experience, because if we just have loads of young girls in the team, and they're just playing against other girls their age, they're not learning the game. So I have to have a mix. So I need to find some more experience that can help the younger girls improve. Because our academy is unbelievable. So if I turn around and went, well, do you know what, we'll just go with under 19s. Like, they're not learning the hard part of the game. They've not got experienced players around them to help them develop. And I need to actively find some more experienced players that can help the younger girls improve, help them get better, help them understand the game more. When the game ain't going so well for you, a more experienced player will know how to get through a game. And they can drag younger girls with them through the game, but it's finding the right player.
And like when you say more experienced girls, like, is it like as in the older girl, or more experienced girls that have played in the league a few years? Because like you probably have a few players that have played in the league probably 10 years. But would you count them as your experienced player, or are you looking for just a mature person, even someone from a local league to come in 25 years of age, that kind of experience? Yeah,
I think, but the quality has to be right. If I found like for me, you're looking at going, if you could sign like one of the girls who I quite like, plays centre back at DLR, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm like, if she come in, she's 25, 26, but she's probably played 150 games. Like, so she's got vast amounts of experience, and it's not about the age, and it's about how many games you play. What have you learned? Have you been successful? Can you bring something to the table? And listen, if they're 30 but they're still able to play, you know, like, then you'd like to bring people. I need people who are going to help the younger ones improve, because there's no point we keep having younger girls into it and they're just playing with other 19-year-olds who are not learning.
Yeah.
They're losing every week and they're not learning the game. Whereas I need to have a good mix, and it's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to find the right players and trying to bring girls in who can, you know, help the younger ones improve, but also help us as a team improve.
Or have you brought in coaching staff with you?
So I've met with all the coaching staff we currently have,
and
you know, I'm still assessing things. Do I have people in mind that I kind of do? Have I actively worked on that? Not yet. I think that the people who've been here deserve an opportunity to get to know me and see if they're willing to jump on board with the way I want to do things. We've made a couple of changes probably in terms of, you know, we don't have any strength and conditioning coach at the moment. So for me, the girls need consistency. There's too many, and I would say even from a coaching staff point of view, that are not at training, turn up when they want. And like for me, if I'm a player and I'm like, certain things are going, well, that the coach who's meant to be coaching me can't make Tuesday but can make every other Wednesday but can't make that Friday, and then he's not there on a game day to help me, like, they're no benefit to us. So I've got to find people who are willing to be here, give up their time and be there for every training session and be there on a match day. And that's difficult because they're volunteers. So I understand that they have other jobs and they're giving up their own time and effort. And you know, we're lucky enough that we have, like, you know, some people here who spend a lot of time and doing some really good stuff. But I still think we can improve as a staff on what we actually do for them.